Rich Tolmach, California Rail Foundation. Thank you, Chairman Zasanya and members.
Get his name.
It's part of that nocturnal turmoil we have.
No, Steinberg was in here and he wasn't now. So I want to focus on 5 areas of increased risk since the last round of plans. And one of the key things that's changed from two years ago to now is instead of doing 30% design and then putting it out to a private design build operator, they are now saying 15% design. And I want to point out, the old plan, they would have had in 2009, they were saying the 30% plans are going to be done by now. And so what's missing in the lesser version? Well, there's no seismic work, there's less environmental work, there's much more uncertainty for each one of the design build teams to assess as they're competing. And so that raises the risk substantially. In addition, there are 4 other technical areas which the authority has completely neglected as far as risk, and each one of them has the potential of setting back the project a long time. First one is cross ties. It takes years to develop reliable concrete cross ties. There is no spec right now for them. Second one is no specs on bridge structures. We don't know in these structures through the Central Valley if they even will hold up an Amtrak locomotive because there are no specs available. Third, inadequate engineering overall, especially doing the prep work for getting permits on the water crossings from the Army Corps. There's been no progress for the last 4 years. Fifth, electrical power. It takes years to site and get permits for new electric power facilities. The authority has essentially done no work on this, and because of that, Bakersfield-Palmdale is actually completely imaginary. The timeline for that could be as much as a decade because they haven't even started the work, permitting work, to get a new high power line through that area, and there's no existing power. And basically, we've had 4 years of drift. I understand why you're upset about these things all slipping. One of the key reasons is there's no operator involved in this project with the experience to say what's required. Parsons Brinkerhoff is not an operator. State agency is not an operator. The design builders are not operators. And so you were building a project for an imaginary client, which is something that Lou Thompson pointed out. That is one of the key flaws with this project. It would be much better to interview operators and figure out what the operators need and then proceed with a project that the operators actually were interested in building.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Frank Oliviera from Citizens for California High-Speed Rail Accountability. Thank you for conducting these hearings and the attention that you've given everybody today and the hard questions that you asked. This is what I got from the peanut gallery back there. The peer review group, the legislative analyst's office, the auditor's office, yourselves, and the high-speed rail also all agree that this project is based on wormy stuff. Contractors running amok, bad information. It's a mess. So what you're being asked to do right now is to take this wormy foundation, put a new crew on that you don't know who they are yet, but they will be a dream team, and proceed forward rapidly to approve this project to be funded, to get going, built on a wormy foundation the way already discussed. Because nobody's talking about going back and fixing the foundation. Some recent current events. Last night, OTCA voted unanimously to oppose the concept of you approving this project.
OTCA?
OTCA.
The Orange County Transportation Authority.
OCTA.
OCTA.
Was that a unanimous vote?
It was unanimous according to the news press stuff that I can show you as soon as we're done talking.
Yes, I'd like to look at that.
And I would be...
It's hard to believe that.
I would be willing to share it with you. It would be a pleasure.
I used to sit on OCTA.
I know.
That's why I find it hard. Huh? Yeah, Mr. Kempton is the chair.
Mr. Kempton, I believe, is the CEO, not on the
Sorry,
board.
you're correct. He's CEO. I don't know if you get a unanimous vote. I know who sits on that.
I'm just saying what's being reported to the rest of the world.
Please.
At any rate, no disrespect, sir. I'm just going by what I was reading while I was sitting there.
Not taken, sir.
At any rate, long story short, you know that there's people in the valley, in the Central Valley, counties, not just people, but counties and cities that oppose this project, and the lawsuits are starting to, the drums for lawsuits are happening. That's been already advertised. We are going to sue also in Kings County. We've already sued. So the burn rate that we've discussed about burning $3 billion a day is going to get slowed down. So the things that I want to talk about are simple. It's a measure of things. That's 3 inches. That's $3 billion of federal money. That's 6 inches, or $6 billion of state and federal money. For that $6 billion, when you're all done, you will be able to catch a train from Bakersfield to Sacramento or somewhere else, which you've been able to do for decades. And you'll tear up a bunch of people's property and a bunch of local economies. To make this not a stranded investment, what's missing is $31 billion. Are you risking $31 billion of debt for $3 billion of federal money to rush on a foundation, a wormy foundation, to get this project going by a dream team you've never met? But it gets worse. Once you start, you're committed to...
Senator Simitian is going to use a tape measure in the future. Please.
I'm going to finish up. You're committed to this much, $90 billion. But yet, I'm not going to stretch it out. We're not even talking about phase 2. This tape measure will go all the way to the wall. And you're going to start this project. What you're being asked to do is to start this project for this much money. I ask you to do what you know is the right thing. And let's end this project. Reconstruct it. Build a competent, cost-effective, high-speed rail system. It has to start over because the foundation is bad.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.